The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is Propaganda. It's a show that's brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors, our favourite firm of solicitors, if only because they pay us to say that.
They do.
Yep.
They do. I like their office in Leeds Central. I like their office in Leeds North, Moortown, and I also like their office in London.
Right. But
Just off the top of my head.
You're not just limited to Leeds North, Central and indeed London, are you? Because you could go via the website.
They've got phones, they've got internet.
Wow.
They've got absolutely everything. Might even have a fax machine if you ask them.
That is a modern setup. That is the modernist of setups. Excellent. Yep. Wow. LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. And if you do that, you can get a 10% discount on your legal fees on a wide range of legal services.
Easy for you to say.
It is very simple. Very, very straightforward.
Yeah, commercial dispute resolution, wills, probate, conveyancing, powers of attorney, all that stuff.
Surely in National Conveyancing Week, you should be bigging up one of those particular services rather than just dismissing it out of hand.
I know
it's special week.
I know it's National Conveyancing Week. I was saving it for one of the later shows this week.
When all the events have finished, when the bouncy castle has been packed away, when the face painters have gone home.
You don't know about the conveyancing. I'm doing some big speeches about it.
Yeah,
later this week.
What are you going to talk about?
All the conveying you do.
Right, like what?
Checking for mines.
That's what my mind immediately went to checking for mines.
It's about making sure you're not by a railway or something. I can't remember. There's something to do with railways, something to do with mines, something to do with water.
Land registry
stuff, yeah. Check your pipes. Check all your boundaries and that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And if your boundaries...
Conveyancing week anyway, everyone.
Oh, wow, yeah. What else are you doing to market after the speeches?
You find out. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, good. Happy Conveyancing Week, everybody.
National Conveyancing. Come on, let's at least respect it.
I think we should call it International Conveyancing Week.
But that would be wrong. You'd be taking the rest of the world by surprise. They're not prepared.
But I think they're ready for it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a time to take it international, and we should be the ones to... Anyway, let's get on with the show. This is the show where we dive into the clips that have been found on the fan channels around the game. Michael Normanton, where are you taking us this week?
Back in time, first of all, because we played Stoke, didn't we?
Let me just check. Yes, we did. Yeah.
Ages ago, it felt like better just one little clip of that from Pounds, P-O-W-N, Z.
Is it somebody who's very tired because they've got Z at the end of their name?
Possibly, yeah. But overall, Stoke were not too disheartened by it, was the gist. Same as Sheffield Wednesday, really. They've kind of gone, Leeds are dead good, we're not.
Wow, you're really selling this to me.
We didn't disgrace ourselves. It was fine. But no, that's not what this is. This is reaction to the Pearson Red. You can hear the main guy, obviously, being disheartened by it, but as Pearson's leaving the field, you can hear someone screaming, which is quite fun.
No surprise, it's Ben Pearson that's been sent off. For God's sake.
I could just distantly make it out. There's some effing and jeffing.
Get out of our club, you fucking shithouse.
Right.
Fuck off back to Preston.
Right.
He really should.
He really should.
He shouldn't be playing for any other club. This whole interlude in Bournemouth, I can't imagine. I think me and him have a similar hair type, and I don't think prolonged exposure to sea air would do a great deal of good.
What is your hair type?
Thick.
Yeah.
Wiry.
And, playing for Stoke is just ridiculous. You should be at Preston.
I agree. And they are they the worst set of bastards we've come across this year? Preston?
Yeah.
I'd say
Huddersfield. We had 2 in a week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oggy. I know it was all our fault, but you don't chin Furpo on the chin without...
He was overheated.
Well, he was overheated. And then you had the guy I thought was Ben Pearson stamping through the back of Crescencio Somerville's Achilles, all that kind of stuff. So they were pretty bad. Stoke were just kind of, they were just normal, I thought.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Just fairly normal until he came on.
Just the one lone wolf.
Yeah.
Renegade.
Really.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, Preston were quite obnoxious as well. If you remember the red card that Meslier got for nothing, he was goaded into. There's something. I mean, Hoggy probably would have committed all sorts of crimes if he'd been placed under that kind of pressure. Meslier did well to only react the way he did. But that's why Ben Pearson needs to be back there if he's going to be doing this. Don't waste it at Stoke. The rest of them are fine. Lewis Baker, inoffensive. 2 good feet. Pearson, get back to Preston and cause some trouble.
Put the band back together.
Yeah. Peter Ridsdale will make him a reasonable wage offer, I'm sure. Come and sear it with his talents.
Right. Where now, Michael?
Let's go to Sheffield now.
Yep.
Again, Sheffield Wednesday as a whole were not hugely dissatisfied with this. If they'd have won, I'm sure they'd have been, bouncing around saying how great it was. But as they lost, they kind of went, well, we were never going to win that, really. Seems to be the gist of it.
Yeah, they've pulled the only Wednesday card, haven't they?
Yeah. So this is Clates.
Imagine being pleased to beat us. How sad you are.
This is a recording from inside the ground. Our first goal going in, and you can just hear someone, because obviously it went 15 seconds over the.
I think was it not a whole 11, Michael?
allotted time.
Come on, you're exaggerating now.
Something like that. But you can just hear someone in the background displeased with the referee.
To concede before half time. The goal will come in. Playing after 4 minutes as well.
Ball away again.
Palmer giving away the ball, really annoying. Of course it's Patrick Bamford as well.
The villain of, why is he the villain of everybody's piece? I don't understand it.
He's not.
He's completely inoffensive.
With him, has he?
He's just been on the telly, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was funny though. Everyone's like, it had to be him, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But I do like that general sense of this ain't fair. You've played 10 seconds of it. When we all know it's fairly inconsequential, but you're looking for someone to blame, for a thing to blame, and say that's not right. He should have blown up 10 seconds ago because he said 4 minutes, and I'm holding him to that.
You're angry at yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
Really, at that point, it's like just don't concede. It's like there was some moaning about the second goal, which may or may not come on to. I can't remember which clips I've got here, but basically saying how he gifted us that goal by giving us a free kick. But he gave us a free kick like in our own corner of the pitch, which Meslier then kicked. It was then had 2 touches and then we scored. It's like it's not really root for like a route to complaint, isn't this? It's like there was an awful lot of stuff still to happen before the goal. But anyway, let's hear 2-0 from Clates. Leeds are just too good.
Leeds are just too good. Long may it continue.
Wasn't even one of our good goals.
It was a decent goal.
It's a good finish, but like you said, Meslier just banged it long. Bamford flicks it on, touch through. The worst offside trap I've ever seen, and no finishes. It's not even like all the time we spend tapping it around on the edge of the box. If it had been one of those, if it had been, I suppose, Farker argued that Bamford's goal here was as good as his one against Peterborough. But, we're capable of that. And this one, we just didn't even use one of our good goals on them.
Use one. That was very much the theme of your match report, wasn't it, on our website, which is thesquareball.net, which I enjoyed a great deal, Moscow.
Leeds launching it.
Yeah. So for all our beautiful tippy-tappy stuff and those little exchanges of passes on the edge of the area that don't work, whack it.
It was noticeable from middle of the first half. Ampadu just started going long, and there was the one that confused Bamford because it was bouncing full stop. Didn't know what to do. Bouncing ball. Didn't seem to be able to compute. And then a couple for Ruter, and that one in that's where the goal at the end of the first half came. Ampadu just launching it, second ball, because it went straight onto Diaby's head and it was scrambled. Somerville and Kamara getting the second ball. It was like having Sam Allardyce back.
There is genuinely a lot to be said for just sticking it behind the defence, turning the defence, because a lot of them are shit in this division.
And when in the case of Sheffield Wednesday, large, you see him and you think he can't turn quickly.
That lad's neck. I mean, he's no owl, is he? He's not, I mean, ironically,
It's going to take a lot of energy. To get him turned.
Owls normally can whip their head backwards. That big lad with a big neck, he's not turning his head like an owl.
Very limited.
They should sell him immediately because he doesn't fit the brand, does he?
Do you think he eats mice?
Yes.
I would say almost certainly. Yeah.
Well, he's all right then.
Fine. Okay.
Lives in a barn as well.
Yeah, he passes the other tests.
What else do owls do?
Owly things.
Owly things, yeah. You ever been to a bird of prey centre?
Better than that, I saw a big owl.
Of course you did, yeah. You've met him, haven't you?
In the... Oh, no.
You did some promo, didn't you?
Yeah, it was back in the local radio days. I ended up at a local garden centre with a big fucking owl on my arm.
Was it a hoot?
Hey.
That was quite intimidating, really. Yeah, it was really big. It looked like it could have pecked my eyes clean out. But actually, no, I saw an actual genuine owl in the wild in the woods in Bradford.
No way.
Honestly, I've seen deer in those same woods just around the corner from me at Thackley. It's called Buckwood for a reason.
These are lies, but fine.
Yeah, that's book as in B-U-C-K, not books as in library.
None of them in Bradford either.
Oh, God, no. Long since got rid of all those. Where are we going now? Back to the car?
He's back in the car just having a little bit of a moan.
Well, guys, I think this was pretty much the obvious outcome. I mean, Leeds are just too good. But to be fair, though, I don't think we played that bad. But, you know, I don't know what to say, really. But what I can say is, referee were not good at all. Giving too many fouls away. Getting Danny Roll booked for no reason. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, can't really say much. But Dad, can you add much onto that?
No, their best player on pitch actually were referee.
Oh, Daddy.
Don't say that again, please. That's too much.
The referee giving lots of fouls away as he was going around kicking everybody.
Yeah.
The ref refed it well because, again,
fine,
they were getting a bit basic and kicky and just kept kicking us and fouls. I don't know, we milked it and we perhaps encouraged him to give them. But
I mean, the thing is, the free kick that leads to our second goal, it's one of those that isn't really a foul, but it's equally one that's given about a dozen times a game. It's what Luke Ayling's made a career out of.
Yep.
Just having a touch from an attacker and going down, and then the refs always give it because it's in a soft area of the pitch where realistically you're never going to score from.
No.
Until you do.
That tolerable. Rat-face Fernandez, the stuff that he gets up to in Garnacho, not acceptable.
Disgusting.
Yeah, stamp it out of the game. In a very literal sense, please.
Do you think there's a sense of conspiracy building against Sheffield Wednesday when they have just put on their website, this is hot breaking news, swsc.co.uk, the Owls are extremely disappointed, which is, I mean, you were talking about how intimidating one owl is.
Yeah.
Imagine a lot of extremely disappointed owls all lining up on your forearm, are extremely disappointed to report that once again, we are the subject of a further FA investigation. How many times has there been the subject of a further? Anyway, this time following Friday night's championship fixture against Leeds United. Missiles were launched, so they're admitting it, from the cop area of the stadium onto the pitch.
They were, I saw them.
In the breach of EFL ground regulations and the law. The club is at risk of FA sanctions for this and previous incidents regrettably seen at Hillsborough this season. Officials are currently studying CCTV footage from Friday's game, and anyone identified to have taken part in such unacceptable behaviour will be pecked and torn asunder like a vole.
Yeah. Previous incidents were mocking a child who died with cancer and racism. So really playing the hits there.
It's actually, now I read it further, they're actually having a go at their own fans about them being investigated because they result in unnecessary costs, which...
I think we've got to the heart of the matter there, haven't we, Moscow?
I mean, really, the way it's going, just stick it on the tab. You're going to admin soon enough.
Have you realised, by the way, with the exception of Hull, and we probably can't even include them, can we, because it's over in Humberside, that all the Yorkshire clubs are doing absolutely terribly this year. We're the only ones actually keeping on.
Now you're just buying into the narrative that says Sheffield United are the worst team the Premier League has ever seen and Luton are the best. And I don't know why you want to upset Chris Wilder even more. That was his latest deranged rant.
Which do you...
He'll have been in two minds, won't he, with that opening goal? Because he probably doesn't want to see Sheffield Wednesday doing well. But then it's Bamford.
Yeah.
Patrick Bamford. Yeah, there is a genuine question at the root of this. Which would you rather face in a dark woodland? Chris Wilder or an owl? An angry owl at that.
You get different sizes of owls. Some owls I could take.
Yeah.
Some of those little ones.
Yeah.
Not an issue. Chris Wilder, I'd outrun him. I feel confident. Could outwit him.
Well, that's not going to be difficult, is it?
He's out of his natural habitat as well. An owl understands the woods, whereas I don't think Chris Wilder, he can't cope with seeing somebody eating a sandwich. I don't know how he'd cope with like coming across a fox feasting on some minor bin bag.
And just for the record, Sheffield United are currently bottom of the Premier League with 14 points.
Narrative.
They have surpassed Derby's 11 points.
They nearly won on the weekend.
Yeah,
they did.
They did,
and which proves that they are as good as Luton. It doesn't matter about the huge gap between them in the league table and the fact that every game against a good team, Sheffield United throw it away like 18-0. That's narrative. And everybody loves plucky little Luton, whereas everybody hates... actually, he's right. Everybody does just hate Chris Wilder, basically, don't they?
We've got another hot off the presses update. Moscow, see what you think about this. This is a tweet on, well, an X, whatever they call them these days. It's somebody replying to Sheffield Wednesday's publicising of the investigation that the EFL are conducting into their shambles of a club. Look at the behaviour of the Leeds players during the game, purposely provoking the crowd and the goalkeeper, especially going out of his way to taunt fans. Ask why this happened.
Yeah, all those Sheffield Wednesday fans were going to leave the pool balls in their pockets rather than lob them about. If only Millier hadn't provoked them into throwing them.
And I'm just checking.
Is it wrong that I do have a degree of sympathy for this argument that if players are going to stand in front of a crowd like doing stuff and things hit them, I sort of do think, well.
I think this is a Chelsea account, by the way, Secret CFC.
I do get a little bit Huddersfield Fan TV and saying the fans were just overheated.
What was the one? Who was it that got bopped on the head by a bottle at Elland Road in the Premier League?
Was it an Arsenal player?
I think it was, and it was just like he had kind of walked his way into that. Obviously, can't condone it, but unusually good aim from somebody in the Kop, and it was kind of like, yeah, you do that, they do that. I don't remember. Well, I mean, I haven't seen what Millier may or may not have done to the Sheffield Wednesday supporters, but there are lines. I mean, if you have seen the photographs of the pool balls, that's not something that you usually normally have to hand when you're standing watching a football game.
Yeah, there's some horrific opinions on that person's timeline as well that we probably don't need to get into on this show.
Okie doke.
So, should we move on, and where do we go next on the tour?
We've got Harry Kilner, who I'm not even sure if he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan or a Huddersfield fan, because he's definitely done Huddersfield stuff before. And when he was at Huddersfield, I thought he was supporting Huddersfield.
And Kilner is the name of the hill, behind Kilner Bank, isn't it? The big grassy hill behind the stand.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
Unless it's just coincidence, I don't know.
But here he is. So I'm not sure if he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan, but at this point, a slightly scary, drunk Sheffield Wednesday fan has got his arm around him in an aggressive, almost headlocky way, and he's clearly going to agree with anything he says.
We Leeds United. Well, Wednesday, aren't we?
There we are, yeah. Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, aren't we? He goes, yeah, we are. Up the Wednesday.
You've been like outside a pub when that's happened. You've been collared by a drunk man and you're like, I need to get out of this situation.
I've got real sympathy for him because you can sense his discomfort in the video. He's like looking at like, yes, mate, yeah. No, I know what you mean, mate. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm gonna I'm gonna go to the bar. I've just got some mates I'm meeting. Just leave me alone, please.
I'll come with you. No.
You're good lad, you.
Come on,
I'm your mate.
I'll buy you a drink.
When I was at
don't want one.
The World Cup in Germany, I was chatting to some blokes on me. I think I must have had a Leeds shirt on or something. This enormous fucking Norwegian bloke who was about 6'8" came over and started talking to me about fighting immediately, and he was just telling me about how he loves to fight, right. And I was just like, yes, mate, yeah.
A Viking warrior.
Oh, okay. Don't fight me because I'm little.
That's really interesting, sir. Yeah.
But yeah, I just basically had to agree with him for about 10 minutes while he talked to me about all the people's heads he kicked in at football matches.
Which city were you in then? Can you
I was in
remember?
Hamburg.
Right.
It was in just somewhere outside this fan park thing in Hamburg.
Right.
He was trying to sell something. I can't remember what it was. I think he might have been selling little gloves with like little fighting. The sort of
steel lines.
The kind of
weightlifting gloves. I think
he was selling them with football badges on or something.
Right.
But yeah, he just started telling me about kicking people's heads in.
Yeah. Good.
Anyway, Harry Kilner, should we hear our second goal again from inside the stadium?
Let's. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but the low-key discontent pleases me, fills me up.
There's upset about the linesman not putting his flag up.
I was going to say, did I hear someone shout Lino?
Yeah.
It was the most onside goal I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Anyway,
It's
just the movement of the players did look like he could have been offside. It looked like he was right up, like on the shoulder of the last man, but it wasn't at all. Was he? He was miles on.
Tell you what, it's really, really hard being a linesman. Trying to watch loads of different stuff all at once. They are very good at it, generally speaking.
I'd say this one was easy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It is a
Normally,
tough
you're looking at lots of different moving objects too, whereas the Sheffield defence absolutely resolute, stood still, which
And
made it probably
standing all
easier.
in different. It was a dog leg. Like two of them were standing about half a mile
We'll
behind
go
the
to
others.
Huddersfield in a bit.
It was there was not even if the linesman had even hesitated, I would have asked them to leave.
Just invited them to make the way home.
So you can't do this.
Give it to someone in the crowd.
Yeah, it's like the job's hard. It's not this hard.
Have you ever been plucked out of the crowd to do a linesman's job, or has been a sub, say?
Yeah, I've done the sub
On a Sunday league game or
It's
whatever.
just impossible.
Right.
You just end up watching the game, and then
Oh, shit, I've missed it.
And then people shout at you, and you just guess.
Yeah.
So it goes offside, and you go, yeah, looks like it could be.
I read an interview with some officials. I think it might have been following like one of the more recent like VAR refereeing scandals in the last year or two. And I think it might have been like a piece that was put out by PGMOL encouraged somebody to go talk about how difficult it is being a ref and what's involved in the process. And they basically listen for the ball being kicked, don't they? When they're looking across the line. One of them said in this interview, yeah. So that's how you do it. Eyes on the line, ears on the ball.
Clever stuff.
Wow.
They do well.
Using two of your senses at once.
They do very well.
Wow. Right, then next.
Let's finish Sheffield Wednesday because that's enough of them for hopefully a couple of years. Might not play them again for a while, one way or another.
Follow them down to League One.
Wednesday Till I Die. This is a podcast and we've just been fairly reasonable about stuff.
We're not scraping wins. We're outplaying teams. This isn't luck. We're going in and doing that. Unfortunately, we've come up against a team that's still Premiership quality, and they don't miss. Chances are there. They're taking them, and there's a reason. There's a reason that they're paying a lot of money for these players, and they were in the Premier League.
Well, let's be right as well.
League One.
10 wins out of 11 going into this
amazing.
game.
Yeah, don't be reasonable. Have hot takes.
I will say, if you saw us in the Premier League last year, you'll realise there was not much Premier League quality there. It felt very Championshipy.
But the gulf in quality between the Premier League and the bottom end of the Championship, is vast, isn't it? I don't know if it's having gone up and then come back down again, and seen just the quality at the top end of the Premier League versus this. I don't know. I think the recent experience of seeing it all has kind of really opened my eyes to that gulf. I don't think I was fully aware of it when we went up under Bielsa, until we kind of got there and I thought, oh, this is all new and exciting. And then we experienced it firsthand when things started to go wrong. They've
got Pervader now, and there not included clips of it, but there were bits of them talking about Pervader like he was Messi.
Yeah.
Kind of going, oh, it's just unbelievable. Like
The next Barry Bannon.
He's exactly, yeah. He's just so much better than anything else we've got. And whereas we were like, he can maybe come off the bench if everyone's injured.
Well, he looks after the ball, doesn't he? And he makes things happen, which is a bit of a rare quantity at this level. Just whether he's effective or not is a different question. But yeah, it's wild, isn't it, the whole thing?
Well, let's stay in Sheffield-ish kind of region and address Neil Warnock.
Right.
At this point, I think we might as well. He's left Aberdeen.
Now, this came as a shock, Moscow. What do you think of him leaving Aberdeen?
He did, actually. You wouldn't have thought he would actually be this just on brand.
I mean, at the start of his job there, he was saying, "Oh well, you know, I'm here for a few months. It's not like they're going to get rid of me." But here we are.
Hang on a second. No. This clip, they haven't got rid of him. He's decided it's time to go.
That's true, and he's left them in. And having just remind ourselves before this clip as well, how many league wins has he got?
1.
No, 0, isn't it?
No, 0, wasn't it? Yeah, because he beat...
he's beaten
Bonnyrigg, which is a town over from Pennycook, where Phil's from.
No, I think in 7 league games, he's not won a single one of them. But he's left them in good shape.
That's good then, isn't it?
I just said that I felt they need to bring the manager in quickly. I think he needs to have a couple of months looking at the squad now in depth, because I think to be successful, and I think he can be successful with the right recruitment, I think that it gives them a couple of months to assess it. And I think the hard bit now, I think, has been done, because I think the standards they've set, I think they'll keep to them now. So I think that, I think I've probably helped the new manager come in and make his job a little bit easier. And then recruitment's got to be spot on. You're only as good as your recruitment, really. And I mean, I know which way I'd go, and I've told them that. Are you with me? But I'm not the powers that be that decide who comes in and who doesn't.
Ah,
like the guy spluttering. I think that guy was spitting out his coffee halfway through, wasn't he? I've done the hard bit, getting them to. I've raised the standards to no wins in 7. Just got to build on that, really.
That's the hard bit done. That's because I've lost all the games, so someone else can win.
It's just about putting smiles on faces, isn't it? Getting them happy again, getting believing again. He's absolutely delusional, isn't he?
The standards have been set, by not going to your actual fucking job 4 days a week, which is what he's been doing, just going up like Friday, hasn't he? Which the game
replicates what he was doing at Leeds, wasn't he? I think there was a lot of flying in on a Friday or a Thursday, or whatever, staying for the game on the weekend and flying back down again.
And of course, the one game where he made the subs off the radio.
Yes,
you can't forget that fantastic cup game where he decided to have a bit of a sniffle, so I couldn't be bothered. Just was like, I'll listen.
Yeah, I was listening to Eddie Gray's co-coms, and he did at least. I think I remember him saying it was like Eddie knows his stuff. So listening to him doing the co-commentary, I was like, so
that's amazing.
Really could have just stuck to that for the rest of that season. But I think him, the biggest, he's just a sideshow now, really, isn't he? And it says everything that he managed to get a full press conference out of leaving, and there was like a big thing on Sky Sports where they're going over his time in Scotland and what he's been doing, and managed to turn it all into like a big. And it'll be something like he'll go back on his tour again now, and he's got his trip to Scotland that he can talk about on the stage. And it's very little to do with like making Aberdeen a better. It was Aberdeen, wasn't it? See, that's it. All I know, I
think you probably know more than him.
It was one of the ones that wasn't Rangers or Celtic. Was it Hibs?
It's kind of Neil Warnock managing in Scotland was the story, and which club it was kind of irrelevant to just. Oh, here's Neil Warnock saying the same stuff he always does. There was a coach, WNBA coach got fired after was in the press conference. I think it was over the weekend, and they were saying they'd lost the game and said, "Oh, how are you going to rebuild from this?" And it's well, I'm not, because I've just spoken to the people and they said they're going to have somebody else in charge. So that's the end of the press conference, and it went. Perfect. So but then you have Warner going, oh, well, it's not for me to talk about the rebuilding, but 20 minutes later, talking about recruitment, get Paddy out of retirement.
The thing is, the problem is Moscow.
Did you see the one signing did make there, by the way?
Yes. Remind me who it was.
Junior Hoylett.
Of course it was, because he was outside the transfer window, and that was kind of the one virtue almost of this job, was he can't spend any money, and yet he somehow still managed to find somebody that he could spend some of the club's money on. And I do wonder about this conversation where he says he's gone to the board and said, I think you need a football manager. I wonder if they've gone to him and said,
we need a football manager.
We think we need a football manager.
We thought we'd appointed one, but it seems you don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not asked, we could get one.
He's gonna. I mean, I really hope they don't win the Scottish Cup, because he's gonna probably turn up and want a medal for it, having beaten a non-league side and another mid-table SPL team.
I'm going to say that before, the danger here as well is that I almost said he needs to just retire now, but the problem is if he retires, he doesn't retire. He goes into the media circuit, doesn't he?
Well, I did hear. I've not included it, but I was listening to some Sunderland fans, and one of them was advocating Warnock to the end of the season.
Interesting.
Because he thinks they're getting pulled into a relegation battle.
There's Watford as well. If they don't stick with Tom Cleverley for very long, I think that's up for grabs. And if you can get in time to play us, even better.
Watford as well. You're near to. Are there any direct Luton to Cornwall flights?
Sandy for his, like, he'll be doing radio work in London and stuff,
That's
won't
true.
he? So,
Right. Next, we go where, Michael? Come on.
Let's go Alex Griffin, who is an Ipswich fan.
Yes.
Now, that was quite enjoyable for us, I think.
I
I
had
did
a
my
lovely
usual.
time.
Again,
Yeah.
I was trying not to watch games. Was this one on telly? I can't even remember.
It was on telly, yeah. It was the lunchtime kickoff on
Were
Sky.
you watching?
I did watch it. I promised myself, as I tweeted from the Square Ball account, I thought, do you know, because we've won on Friday, I'm just going to switch off from it. I'm going to be understand that this is beyond my control. I'm not going to get too emotionally invested in it. And I'm going to try and spend some nice time with my family on Saturday. Instead, I was curled up under the covers watching injury time unfold in Cardiff. And I screamed and started punching the bed and going, yeah, and other basically animal feral behaviour when the second goal went in. So a nice time was, I was going to say a nice time was had by all. It wasn't had by all, was it?
No. Should we hear the Ipswich fans having a nice time?
Yep.
For a little bit. They had 10 minutes of a nice time, and then we'll hear the bad bit.
Oh my gosh! Keep them all! Come on! Keep them all! 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 Come on! Look at this. Unbelievable noise from the away end.
Oh,
Bit of foreshadowing.
yes. Moments that precede unfortunate events and all that. Yeah. Which, to be fair, it's nice that they were making hay with it. Yep.
Some good songs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear Waka Waka as much as
No.
you should. I think the Wales fans sing a variant of that. Maybe? I can't remember.
we should know. We have to learn all that stuff, don't we, before the Euros if they get through.
They've got the qualifiers coming up soon, haven't they? I'm actually going to be supporting Wales, which is a bit
Why?
weird.
Because you hate Glenn Kamara?
Yes. Because, look, if we had more Finnish players,
He's no Finnish.
maybe I could get on board with it.
He's
But
28.
the sheer numbers are making me support Wales. So that's good. Sounds like they're having a nice time. It's a long trip as well, isn't it? Ipswich to Cardiff, very
Yeah, getting sideways
real-
anywhere in this country is a pain in the arse, isn't it?
cross-country
Yeah.
trip, about 4.5, 5 hours.
I'm going to
probably.
work it out while we play the next clip, because I'm not sure what's going to happen in this clip. What about you?
Bad things.
My word. This is enough to have a heart attack, it really is. No. Oh my god, they scored. I can't believe it. Oh my god. No, it's actually bullshit.
The goal for Cardiff City scored by number 6, Ryan Winter!
Oh no. That's it. It's going to be full time.
Come on!
It's a draw. This is the last chance of the game. Oh my god. No. Oh my, no, I can't. Oh my god. I am fuming.
That's out.
Last score 10 on that lead. Oh, Cardiff City.
We've lost it. We've lost it.
It was interesting to hear the different stages of grief in there. There was some denial and some anger, I felt.
It's the disappointment of going, it's a draw. It's a draw. We've run out of time to... Oh,
that's happened, has it?
oh dear. It was seeing it actually. It made me feel a little bit sad, weirdly, watching the away end. It had slight Derby County vibes about it, you know, where there's a bit of a crowd of who've been really hyped up, all of a sudden being like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
that's gone wrong quickly, hasn't it? It had something of that about it.
The other thing with Alex here, were the rest of the crowd watching a different stream? Because he seemed to see the first goal in
He did,
particular
yeah.
a long time before anybody else in the stadium cheered, made a sound, or anything. He's like, this is a goal, gap, 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 gap. And then you hear like the kick of the linos going, oh, there's a kick there. And then the crowd are cheering. And even the second one, he's a little bit ahead of everybody else. Like, what? I mean, I would have said, what incredible insight does he have? Is he related to Mother Shipton? If it was not for the whole it's a draw stuff. So he should have seen if he's...
It's Normanton catastrophising Moscow. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think he's saying it so it doesn't happen, I think.
Okay.
But then it does. So it doesn't work. I can confirm, I've always thought bad things will happen, and they always have.
Yeah.
So, am I bringing him into existence? No, it makes no difference.
No.
To it. No impact.
You have no bearing on the universe whatsoever, in any sense.
Sad but true. Sad but true.
You bring joy on this show, Michael. Don't you? Don't you believe it otherwise?
Well, should we hear some joy to contrast with that?
Yep.
That Cardiff City fan.
Our
Young friend in Wales.
So if you're not familiar with that Cardiff City fan, around the time we played them, he was we discovered him in his sub-teen potty mouth. He was saying lots of swear words. I asked, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? But he was also saying he needed some numbers on his channel, didn't he?
He'd got his first channel banned, and he only had a few subscribers. But
we helped him, didn't we?
We helped him. He's got a couple of thousand now.
Mostly Leeds fans?
Absolutely all Leeds fans. And as you'd imagine, the comments on this video
very on brand, yeah,
are very, very Leeds heavy because they've done us a favour here. But I like him. I like his style, and I also like his opinion here at half time on Kiefer Moore, because Kiefer Moore has played for Cardiff, so they like him. He's Welsh, so they like him for that. But he can't quite bring himself to say it.
Kiefer Moore, I mean, he's got booed a lot. I think fans are forgetting what he's done for us, but he is a little shit sometimes.
Kiefer Moore being referred to as a little shit by a child.
I would like him to say that to his face.
I'm sure Kiefer would let him off.
I'm not so sure.
In fact, he did get a picture with him afterwards.
I was going to say, I've seen that picture. Yeah, he got a selfie outside.
He gets autographs afterwards. He did get a picture, which is more than, again, not included, but that Hull boy, because they were playing Leicester, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall refused a picture.
Right.
What an absolute fucking pig.
Right.
Yep, he was warming up, and that Hull boy, who we know is a lovable, enthusiastic chap, went down and asked him to come over for a picture, and he refused.
Stuck up, pompous arsehole.
So Kiefer Moore,
no longer the North's Premier wedding venue.
And you can call Kiefer Moore all the names under the sun, and he will still quite happily come and pose with you.
Right.
Anyway, I mean, we're going to hear now 1-1 and then 2-1. I don't even know how old this lad is, but you know, like, memorable early games really stick with you. Like for me, the Derby 4-3 game.
Yeah, that was 1997. Yeah.
Yeah, like this will be a game that he'll just think about forever, probably, because it doesn't happen, does it, being a goal down on 95 minutes and then winning. And you just get some of the sheer joy of it all unfolding, which is quite nice. This is 1-1.
Sorry. That was sort of me against Leicester, but only an octave higher.
I was going to say, do you miss Noel Wheeler on Radio Leeds? So then we get to 2-1. This is completely unedited, so there are quite a few weird, like, chops in it. I think because his phone keeps turning off and then he's kind of switching it off and back on again and stuff. But you just really get the full joy of it all.
Fucking God, we just won that. How the fuck did we just win? We just scored 2 I do not know how we just won that game of football. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was me against Leicester. Yeah.
It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely great. Yeah, Cardiff to Ipswich, by the way, 240 miles via the fastest route, 4 hours and 13 minutes at lunchtime on a Tuesday, if you were to do that. But I think that involves the M25. No one needs to be doing that, do they?
Oh, sounds painful.
Yeah.
That's painful. But that's having good fun in the Cardiff end.
Mm.
I think in some ways, have we brought this? No, we said we had no impact on the universe, didn't we? I was going to say, do we deserve this for supporting Cardiff in our own small way? Do we deserve that late winner for them off the back of it?
Yeah.
Fine. Let's stick with Ipswich.
Right.
Blue Monday, which is an Ipswich podcast. It's hosted by, I don't think it always is, but on this occasion hosted by that Benjamin Bloom fella who you see doing around, who actually is quite nice about Leeds, generally speaking. They're nicer at Ipswich, generally speaking, I have to say. I generally don't find anything objectionable about them.
I've got a question to pose about that, so let's listen to the clip and then I'll ask you after this.
But they were doing a bit of a quick Q&A thing. There were a couple of Leeds questions came up in it, so this is those.
I'll take the first one. Eric, will Leeds win the league? Ooh. And are we in reality hunting Leicester? There's something in that, isn't there? If you look at the way Leeds are trending, can you really see Leeds doing what Leicester have just done and scoring 4 points in 5 games? He might be right. I can see it. I can see it happening. Are Ipswich as good as Leeds? I think they're as well coached, but Leeds have an infinitely stronger squad and financial position. So I think we all understand that.
So my question is, and I guess it flows from that, what's the best outcome for this season? I just want Leeds to go up. I don't care who comes up with us, but it would be infinitely funnier if it was us and Leicester. Us and Ipswich, rather.
It would. Ipswich are the nice option, aren't they? Because, I don't know, you fear there, as he covered off, saying Leeds have got a better squad, bigger budget, etc. It does generally go that way, doesn't it? That the teams with bigger resources ultimately will come through, which means it probably will be us and Leicester.
What you're saying is there's a beautiful fairy tale to be had with Leicester going up, with Ipswich going up, rather. Sorry, done that twice now. With Ipswich going up, but as long as we are the other team, then fine. Yeah.
Basically, because I mean, other people are horrible parachute payment bastards, whereas we're a lovable, noble club who deserve to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine. We'll take one of the spots. Ipswich can have the title if they want. I'm willing to make that concession.
No, don't get carried away.
No, you wouldn't do that for us to go in second?
No.
If it happens, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But let's not encourage it.
Yeah, if we're doing deals from this far out, we don't need to be, we've got considerable advantages.
Should we go Leicester Fan TV now to them discussing the possibility of us winning the league as well and us maybe going above them next weekend?
If Leeds go above us next weekend, I could really see
pressure.
It's not even that, mate. I could see these players in our squad just crumbling, thinking to themselves, we were top of the league for this long. We were this many points clear, and now we're second. After all that hard work, we've just thrown it away. I would fear, mate, that we end up in the playoffs in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, mate. I really do. I do fear that.
But Locks, hold on, sorry, Locks, but you're saying about Leeds going above us and we're finishing second, but then surely that means we change to the underdogs, and don't we play better when we're the underdogs?
No, if I'm totally honest, I would not back us. I'm sorry. As much as I like being positive, I would not back us to be the ones chasing anymore. Again, people have been saying the last couple of years we've been bottling stuff. I'm not going to say we bottled it just yet because we're still in the top spot. But if Leeds get above us and then we have to be chasing them, I am going to be looking like we're going to be bottling in it. But
there is no way we win the playoffs, by the way. There is no way, mate. If this team fall into the playoffs after being top of the league for so long, confidence, zero.
It's a bit like what happened to us, isn't it?
I was thinking that listening to it, it might still all be fine, Leicester fans.
Yeah. But it's first season Bielsa, isn't it, that?
Yeah, well, it's second season Bielsa too.
Yeah, but being pursued, I meant, and then actually being reeled in.
Like that Forest game, I didn't think we were going up.
Yeah.
I thought we fucked it. I was like, this is it now. We're going to probably bumble our way to the end of the season, winning one, drawing one, losing one, playoffs, same again, know where this is going. And then, as Carney said, COVID came along and we got promoted.
Right.
It was all fine. But no, we did clearly pull it round before then. I sort of suspect Leicester will.
Yeah, it's kind of how unprecedented could be, because their season, if they'd carried on without losing these games, would just be ridiculous. Like the kind of points totals that are being thrown around and the full season performance would just be historic and ridiculous and weird. So there was kind of a bit of balancing out, which I think Farke's kind of alluded to when he said we might be bad at the start and then we'll get strong as the season goes on. Leicester started incredibly well, and then you just kind of, I think Farke's quietly betting, and we were quietly hoping that they would have a dip at some point. This is the dip if they've lost 3 games in a row, and they looked pretty panicked against Hull, needing to get an old Albert Steptoe to come in, score a couple of goals to bail them out twice, and the penalty miss, Hull missed a penalty as well, and they didn't look good. So they're having, this is them struggling. This is them doing what we were doing at the start of the season, and it's a question of how long that goes on for and how well they recover. Because you're right, they could just be who do they play next? Whoever they play next, they could just beat them and then suddenly like back to form, sort themselves out. They use this break to do what Bielsa did with us to sort us out after that Nottingham Forest game. Although the next game did then. We went to Brentford and Kiko Casilla just gave them a goal start again, didn't he? And we had Liam Cooper.
Bristol City away, to answer your question.
Liam Cooper was out Albert Steptoe, bailing us out that day. So we got a point, and then it was all up from there. So they could come back, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because you don't show the kind of form they've shown up to this point without being a really good team. But the panic is interesting, and I don't think the stuff about PSR and all the profit and sustainability rules is helping, because it's a lot of extra stuff. And I was reading that their fans were chanting that they want their director of football sacked at the whole game, because I think they're holding him responsible for the PSR stuff, that even if they get promoted, they've got points deductions and fines in their future, which he's to blame for. And so, even if they do go up, are they just going to be deducted 15 points and have to come straight back down again? So what's even the point anymore? And then maybe we'll get like the EFL are hunting them down. So there's a lot going on while Farke just sits there with his coffee and his cake on the sofa going, I don't care about any of this.
There was quite a long discussion of the possible points deduction and penalties and stuff they were facing, because one of them was saying, I'd rather we might as well stay down and take the points deduction here. And someone else was saying, well, no, because then we'll have to sell all our players and we'll be in the Championship. And then someone else is going, yeah, but then we'll just go up and we'll come straight back down. And then we might face another penalty when we come back down because of the weird two ruling bodies thing, you could potentially go up with a points deduction, then come back down and have another points deduction because the EFL then go, well, you broke our rules when you were last here.
Yeah.
And even though you've been punished there, we're going to do it again here. So I think the best case scenario is to go up and sell all the players and come back down.
Yeah, it'll be full Sheffield United because that's why they've done so badly this season. The good players that they had getting promoted got sold in the summer and replaced them with some players that we wanted and have just been absolutely honking since there. So the solution really is a big Kiernan Dewsbury Hall shaped transfer would solve some of their problems and alleviate some of those things. But that was a bit of tension in January as well in the transfer window. We had their manager going, I have to have some new players and we're not selling him. And they didn't do either of those things, but it shook things up quite a lot. And that's when he started going on about, well, if the fans don't like us passing from the back, I'll just quit. And the fans went, do it then. And it's all like, it's weird. At no point during this like phenomenal history-breaking season of incredible wins do they seem like they've been having a good time. So on that basis, if you're not going to enjoy it, don't even try to get promoted. Just give up now.
Don't deserve it, do they?
They are paying Jamie Vardy apparently £140,000 still.
I mean, to be fair, though,
a year.
No, that's per week. On a per week basis, yeah. So it's no wonder they're stretching some of their limits there if they're paying that kind of money.
And that's where it comes down to. If they weren't paying him £140,000 a week, who gets the goals against Hull that mean that they don't just get beaten 4-0 instead of drawing 2-2?
Steve Claridge.
Do you know what's mental? That's £7.3 million a year. £7.3 million a year. Bearing in mind your allowable losses in the Championship are £8 million a year, unless your directors offset some of the losses, and it's $5 million a year, isn't it? They're allowed to put in. So effectively, Jamie Vardy's salary is all their allowable losses.
I mean, that's the other thing we had a lot of problems in the summer with our contracts with the loan clauses and the wage reductions, meaning players wanted to leave. But at least we were somewhat prepared, whereas Leicester, I think, was still in we're the Premier League champions mode, and they had Brendan Rodgers at the start of last season. Mm-hmm. And so it's all about let's get back into Europe. Suddenly, they're in the Championship and they've got Jamie Vardy on.
They're doing a Leeds, you could say.
Yeah.
Going, we'll never get relegated. It's fine. We don't need to put any clauses in.
So well done, Victor. That's what we're saying.
Yes, well done.
Well
Victor.
done, Victor. Right.
Let's hear a bit of Leicester Till I Die TV1. I couldn't face the whole video again. These are the wanking obsessed people. I wonder if someone tipped them off because I didn't find any wanking references, though they are facing some comments from Alice, who is a Leeds fan, and once again they are biting on every Leeds fan comment and getting upset about it. And they also hear what the allegation is if it's a woman rather than a man doing this now.
Watching your two wingers, pure comedy gold. The mighty Leeds United have hunted you foxes down. Yeah, you've done well.
You boring God, you're still behind in the league.
I know, but just think, Alice, if you hadn't got a team that was, did you go on strike? Did some of the players go on strike at the start of the season? You didn't have a manager. You didn't know what was going on. You were a club that was being run like a play group. You would actually be top now. But because the team was so shit at the start of the season, that's why you're not, Alice. Yeah.
I mean, imagine being so obsessed with a club you don't support that you're practically creaming yourself every time they lose or drop points. It's actually embarrassing.
I mean, first of all, the mansplaining was fantastic there.
It's actually embarrassing.
Some excellent mansplaining. And they've retreated to that absolute, I don't know, intellectual desert of saying it's embarrassing, rent-free, that kind of shite. Yeah.
Did they think it was Alice Kinnear? Holding her responsible for everything that happened at the end of the season. If you hadn't failed to appoint a manager in time, and if you hadn't had players on strike, then you would be top of the... It's like, and there's not even a an argument there. It's like if your season had been better, you would have been having a better season.
Well, Moscow, I can see you reeling from some of these devastating blows they're striking, and they're going to just continue in this next clip. I'm not sure how you can recover, and Alice is mudded, I believe, as they would say.
I mean, also learn to type. Pure comedy gold. That ain't English. That ain't sentence, mate.
Yeah, but we're talking about Yorkshire, Leeds. Here,
I mean, we were talking about my team, but looked at Leeds.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I'm sure you were doing backwards when you grew 1-1 with 10 men.
She missed school a lot for whatever reason.
Alice, honestly, get a job or get a hobby. One of the two you're missing in life.
Yeah.
You clearly have one of a dull life. Can
I just say, it's called living rent free in Leeds fans' heads.
I know, right? It's actually, I almost, Chris, remember, almost feel sorry for him. I don't, but I almost do.
Yeah, I have more comments on these videos post when I finish and people go on YouTube to comment off Leeds fans than I do Leicester.
It's almost like.
I mean, one of the. I think some of the comments from Leeds fans might be our fault for alerting people. Because I did notice the top comment was just, "What is wrong with these people?" on one of the videos.
It's like this whole rent-free thing is so shit. It's just so shit. You're
embarrassing.
Top of the league. We're second. What do you expect? I mean,
I was also wondering if the penny will drop that having a Leicester YouTube channel whose audience is predominantly not Leicester fans is not going to be good for you in the long term.
It is, as the kids would say, not the dub you think it is. Indeed. Have we got more? We've got more. Are we capable of coping with this?
It's another Leeds fan in the comments, and again, they could. These aren't being presented to them.
Yeah,
they're choosing to address.
They're choosing to engage with this.
I just don't know why.
It's just said here the difference is Leeds and Farke particularly aren't massively flopping like Leicester are. No, but you did flop at the start of the season. So I guess if we're flopping, then by equal measures, you've got to say that Leeds flopped when they only got a point off Huddersfield.
Yeah, I was going to say, how can you say we're flapping at it?
Got a better team than Huddersfield. So that must have been a massive flop for you, JC. Really must have been. And you've got a manager that has got a team out of this division 3 times. He's also got a team relegated into this division 2 times, and got them relegated twice in Norwich. So if you do go up, you'll be back down again. No, I don't know. I don't think you will, to be honest with you. But look, let's just say, so we're massively flopping, right? 26 games we've won. Leeds have won 24. We've drawn 4, they've drawn 7. We've lost 7, they've scored 6. Goals for, we've scored for 74, they've scored 68. We've conceded 5 more goals than them. So we've only got, one off goal difference. So the only difference there is Leeds United are saying we are flopping because we've drawn less games than they have. Wow. Well, if that's what, if that's what Leeds look for to be a good team, then I pity Leeds. I really do. I really, really do. But there we go.
Have you noticed that,
roasted?
Well, the growth of the internet, what it's done is it's taken away all the barriers to production, hasn't it? In the sense that, we don't have any big corporations that are big gatekeepers anymore. And what I'm saying is basically YouTube has democratized the process of putting stuff out. What I'm saying is people can put out any old shit, can't they? Anybody can just start a channel and put out any old shit, as this goes to show, by the way. Not this, I mean us.
I think he's some good relevant points there.
Yeah.
The bit about scoring 7 goals or whatever. I just got lost. He was just reading numbers off a table.
I think Moscow's borderline furious now.
I think I found the stuff about wanking easier to listen to. And you've drawn 7, we've scored 5. I don't even know what we're comparing at this point. And yeah, I think the suggestion that Alice needs to get a job from these people on YouTube, it's one of the things that you need to be self-aware enough not to say.
And you're suggesting self-awareness here is going to be...
Well, you get a proper job while I sit here and talk about football on YouTube.
It may have been that they were trying to goad him with the flop chat to see if they could...
Some knob shot, penis chat.
Yeah. No, actually, it still works.
Right. There was some confusion about whether it was flopping or flapping, though, wasn't there?
Yeah, no, the flop and the flap.
Yeah.
Different things.
Does the flapping follow the flopping? There's the question.
I suppose if it's flopped, you can flap it. But
try and get it back to life.
If Leicester go up, they'll be thumbing it in to the final day, won't they?
Oh dear me, is that propaganda done then, or have we got anything else to sign off on?
I mean, I suppose if we're going to go down a similar-ish route, do you want to hear the Huddersfield people?
What you mean, fuckwits?
Yeah, well, it's their actual owner, isn't it? And that other bloke,
Carmichael.
I don't really know who he is.
Again,
that guy with the big face.
Yeah, what's wrong with his head?
I don't know. It's just I just know him as the guy with the big face because I see him on Twitter.
Yeah, they've done that weird thing of deliberately courting the attention of Leeds fans by like tweeting stuff like L *****.
Well, in this clip, he won't actually say the word Leeds either, will he?
Right, yeah.
He deliberately avoids it, which is
they're
clever.
trying to engage their fans and curry favour and all that sort of thing. And then when Leeds fans have rightly pointed it out how juvenile their behaviour is and how this will bite them back on the arse, I'm sure they've retreated straight into rent-free, haven't they, again?
Something like.
The rivalry with the other club to the east is we found out during the Derby week, it's like they said quite a bit how much they didn't care about Huddersfield Town and how irrelevant they were. But judging by your social media mentions and my social media mentions, I guess there's a disconnect translation-wise, because in England, I guess not caring about something means you tweet all day about it.
I don't know what to say. I just figured that maybe the fans of Leeds have a lot of free time. But thank you for watching our social media. I know that they're sort of they're relishing what's going on right now. But hey, I'll say to those fans that are watching from Leeds right now, have fun, enjoy it now, because it's not going to always be the same. It's not going to always be like this.
Is it not?
Oh,
a question for you? Do you think Huddersfield and their fans and their owner, they think about Leeds more than we do?
I think it's fine for the fans to be as they are to a large extent. But it's just like when Radrizzani used to do stuff on Twitter and we'd all kind of go, for fuck's sake. But this is worse.
Yeah.
This is like Victor Orta in the stands with his binoculars, but all the time. Just unprofessional, being a dickhead, and also whilst also being in the relegation places.
Yeah,
which isn't a great look.
Do you know, I was trying to distill it into a single thought over the weekend. What do I think about these chaps, this moon-faced chap doing this? And it led me back to the idea, you let your football do the talking. And we sort of are, and so are they.
We should probably shut up then.
Shall we?
Yeah, I'll do.
I will see you next time.
The Square Ball Podcast.